guys, Loud Guys. Today we are going to watch Star-Spangled Banner as you have never heard it. So I have watched this video before, but she has not watched it, and like I had told her that Star-Spangled Banner is the national anthem of USA, and we also have a national anthem. But I can surely say that we have never seen a story behind a national anthem,
Yeah.
and like you will see the story behind the US national anthem.
Yeah, I mean I've heard the national anthem of USA, but I really don't know the story behind it because even words are I don't even remember the words also. So I think it will be very interesting to hear the story, the whole story behind it.
Yeah, so let's watch this.
Video.
Song that I'm sure you're aware of. You've seen it. It's in most hymnals throughout our churches. It's called the national anthem. It is our song as an American. We go, however, to a ball game. We stand in our church services and we sing the words of that song, and they float over our minds and our lips, and we don't even realize what we're singing. Most of us have memorized it as a child, but we've never really thought about what it means. Let me tell you a story.
Oh.
Francis Scott Key was a lawyer in Baltimore. The colonies were engaged in vicious conflict with the mother country, Britain.
Oh.
Because of this conflict and the protractedness of it, they had accumulated prisoners on both sides. The American colonies had prisoners and the British had prisoners. And the American government initiated a move. They went to the British and they said, let us negotiate for the release of these prisoners. They said, we want to send a man out to discuss this with you. They were holding the American prisoners in boats about 1,000 yards offshore. And they said, we want to send a man by the name of Francis Scott Key. He will come out and negotiate to see if we can make a mutual exchange. On the appointed day, in a rowboat, he went out to this boat and he negotiated with the British officials. And they reached a conclusion that men could be exchanged on a one-for-one basis.
Finally.
Francis Scott Key, jubilant with the fact that he'd been successful, went down below in the boats, and what he found was a cargo hold full of humanity, men.
Oh.
And he said, men, I've got news for you tonight. You're free. He said, tonight I have negotiated successfully your return to the colonies. He said, you'll be taken out of this boat, out of this filth, out of your chains. As he went back up on board to arrange for their passage to the shore, the admiral came and he said, we have a slight problem.
Oh.
He said, we will still honor our commitment to release these men, but it'll be merely academic after tonight. It won't matter.
Oh, why?
And Francis Scott Key said, what do you mean? He said, well, Mr. Key, he said, tonight we have laid an ultimatum upon the colonies. Your people will either capitulate and lay down the colors of that flag that you think so much of, or you see that fort right over there, Fort Henry?
Oh.
He said, we're going to remove it from the face of the earth.
Oh.
He said, how are you going to do that? He said, if you will, scan the horizon of the sea. And as he looked, he could see hundreds of little dots.
British ships.
And he said, that's the entire British war fleet.
Oh.
He said, all of the gunpowder, all of the armament is being called upon to demolish that fort. It will be here within striking distance in a matter of about 2.5 hours. He said, the war is over. These men would be free anyway. He said, you can't shell that fort. He said, that's a large fort. He said, it's full of women and children. He says, it's predominantly not a military fort. They said, don't worry about it. They said, we've left them a way out. And he said, what's that? He said, do you see that flag way up on the rampart? He said, we have told them that if they will lower that flag, the shelling will stop immediately.
No.
And we'll know that they've surrendered. And you'll now be under British rule.
Wow. Either you bow down
Francis Scott Key went down below and told them
or you are
what was
killed.
about to happen.
God.
And they said, how many ships? He said, hundreds. The ships got closer. Francis Scott Key went back up on top and he said, men, I'll shout down to you what's going on as we watch. As twilight began to fall, and as the haze hung over the ocean as it does at sunset,
My God.
suddenly the British war fleet unleashed.
Oh.
He says the sound was deafening. There were so many guns that there were no reliefs.
Shelling
He said it was
continuous.
absolutely impossible to talk or hear. He said suddenly the sky, although dark, was suddenly lit. paces from down below, all he could hear the men, the prisoners, saying was, "Tell us where the flag is.
Oh God!
What have they done with the flag?
What about
Is
the
the flag
flag?
still flying over the rampart? Tell us."
They only care about the flag.
1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours into the shelling. Every time the bomb would explode and it would be close to the flag, they could see the flag in the illuminated red glare of that bomb, and Francis Scott Key would report down to the men below, "It's still up.
Oh,
It's not down."
wow.
Not down. Yes.
The admiral came and he said, "Your people are insane." He said, "What's the matter with them?" He said, "Don't they understand this is an impossible situation?"
Actually impossible.
Francis Scott Key said he remembered what George Washington had said. He said, "The thing that sets the American Christian apart from all other people in the world is he will die on his feet before he'll live on his knees."
Woo!
Wow.
The admiral said, "We have now instructed all of the guns to focus on the rampart to take that flag down." He said, "We don't understand something. Our reconnaissance tells us that that flag has been hit directly again and again and again, and yet it's still flying. We don't understand that."
Directly.
But he said, "Now we're about to bring every gun for the next 3 hours to bear on that point." Francis Scott Key said the barrage was unmerciful.
Oh.
All that he could hear was the men down below praying.
Oh.
The prayer, "God, keep that flag flying
Oh God.
where we last saw it."
Oh my God.
Sunrise came.
Sunrise.
He said there was a heavy mist hanging over the land, but the rampart was tall enough. There stood the flag, completely nondescript, in shreds.
In
The
shreds.
flagpole itself was at a crazy angle,
Like this.
but the flag was still at the top.
Flying.
Whoa.
Francis Scott Key went aboard and immediately went into Fort Henry to see what had happened. And what he'd found had happened was that that flagpole and that flag had suffered repetitious direct hits. And when hit had fallen, but men, fathers, who knew what it meant for that flag to be on the ground, although knowing that all of the British guns were trained on it, walked over and held it up humanly
Wow.
until they
Flag
died.
was going down and they were standing there.
Their bodies were removed and others took their place.
Wow. What a crazy
Francis Scott Key
story.
said what held that flagpole in place at that unusual angle
Wow.
were patriots' bodies.
Even more beautiful now, this flag.
And the
Yeah.
song, "Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming,
Now the meaning.
or the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that
Our
the flag
flag
was still there.
Wow.
Wow.
Goosebumps.
Wow.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet fly and wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave."
Wow.
The
Actually, home
debt
of the
was
brave.
demanded. The price, it was paid.
Oh, say,
Wow.
can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars
Wow. Bright stars.
through the perilous fight o'er the rampart so gallantly stream.
The meaning is so painful.
Wow.
And the
Rockets,
rockets
red glare. Imagine them.
Whole situation.
bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag
Flag was still there.
was still there.
Wow.
Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Wow.
Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free
And the land of the brave.
and the home of the
Those people
Brave.
brave?
made America what America is.
Wow. God is the Lord. Wow.
What are your opinions about it?
It was very painful. Like, I've never ever noticed the lyrics of the anthem. Of course, I've heard that, but now I come to know about the whole story, like how it was. And then at that time also, people were only caring about the flag, that American flag, because if you just think about this situation, the whole situation, what matters more than your life? But it matters. The flag matters. The pride matters.
Actually, for the people there, like they were continuously fighting for it, and they were just like, okay, we have to keep the flag high. For the people in the boats, like for them, they wanted freedom and everything, but what they cared for is like, is the flag still up or not? Just tell us that. So they did not care, because they knew because if the flag would have gone down, they might have been free like that only. So they would have cared for themselves, but they were like, no,
No.
we don't care about ourselves. The flag should be up, and everybody gave their 100% to keep the flag up. And now, when that lawyer then penned the whole thing,
Yeah.
it just made the whole thing to another level. And I think so every country has their national anthems. Like India's national anthem praises the whole culture and everything of our country, and also the sacrifices we have made. But I think so this kind of national anthem just boosts you again, and just listening to the explanation about it is something very emotional.
I think every country has, of course, a national anthem, because after hearing the story, except our national anthem, it's like that every country has its own story. We think about our country has faced this and that, but I think every country has its own painful story.
Actually, so what do you guys think about this video? Do let us know in the comment section below. So do like, share, and
Subscribe.
bye.